What's up, people? This is a Nature Girl 30 here, and yes, this is a very late review. This is my weekend edition for the Smackdown review for November 18th. Yes, it's really late. It's Saturday, and yes, I'm doing it. But okay, here we go. Honestly, I like this SmackDown. I like the way the SmackDown started off. It just started off not with a lame promo, not with a lame opening or promo itself. It started off with just plain old-fashioned carnage. The fact that Mark Henry beat the crap out of Daniel Bryan. I mean, literally, we had no idea why. We just saw Daniel Bryan pretty much get laid out in front of our very eyes. I like the way that always starts. I don't like the whole cliche epic promos or whatever. I don't like the whole cliche promos or the cliche openings or the cliche beginner of the entire show with Green Day and everything. I am happy that it just started off with plain old-fashioned carnage. I like it. I love it. They need to keep that up and actually do that every once in a while. But anyway, moving on from there, I don't get me wrong, I actually did like the Sin Cara versus Dolph Ziggler match. Now, hearing from Vicky Guerrero saying that Dolph Ziggler is once again going to be pulling double duty, not only being in the traditional 10-man tag team match for Survivor Series, he's going to actually put his U.S. title on the line against John Morrison. Now, the one thing that confused me about this match is that, okay, if John Morrison is supposed to be a part of a feud, I guess it's a feud, I don't know, but the fact that John Morrison is a part of Survivor Series, don't you think that he should actually be involved in the match? Instead of Sin Cara actually losing to Dolph Ziggler, I think that they should have had John Morrison interfere in the match, causing Dolph Ziggler to lose, and actually build up the match instead of just throwing it in there like they did with all the other past pay-per-views. Actually have John Morrison more involved, and it really would actually get you crunk to see what's going to happen on Survivor Series. But instead, they had Mason Ryan come out. After, they had Jack Swagger come out, and I'm like, what? Really? I mean, yes, I know that Mason Ryan is actually a part of Survivor Series, but why in the world would you have him involved with Dolph Ziggler? I mean, I don't think they're feuding, unless it's something I'm missing. If I'm missing it, let me know. Leave a comment below. But anyway, that led to a Jack Swagger versus Mason Ryan match. Now, honestly, let's be real. Jack Swagger had no chance in the dark to beat Mason Ryan. That guy's a freaking powerhouse. He's Batista Jr. There's no way that Batista Jr. can lose, especially the fact that they're pushing him so much. He pretty much came out with a decent win, and it was a great win, in my opinion, because it's great for his career, and he really does need to push. But honestly, there's a few things that did confuse me a little bit. One thing that confused me was the backstage scenes. I've said it once, I've said it again, I probably said it 1,000 times. Oksana is annoying. There's no purpose for her even being a diva. She's just there. Like, I can't even say she's a valet. I mean, the fact is that she's flirting with a man that is old enough to be her dad is not only disgusting, but ridiculous. I mean, she really has no purpose of being there, but somehow she keeps showing up with this ridiculous music and this, I don't know what it is, this plastic unitard that she keeps coming out with. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense for even having it. But the one backstage scene that I liked the most was all the backstage scenes involving the Big Show, because the Big Show actually did, he made you more pumped to see his match between him and Mark Henry. After what Mark Henry did, he really did a great job selling it. He really did a great job selling how he felt about Mark Henry, how Mark Henry, what he did to Daniel Bryan. I mean, he really sold it, and he sold it well. And also another thing, Daniel Bryan is getting more involved in the whole in this feud between. Actually, it's not really a feud just yet, in my opinion. Actually, he's getting more involved between the Big Show and with Mark Henry. And seeing how he's getting involved in the middle of it and kind of in that big, huge behemoth sandwich, he is going to play a huge role later on down the line. After this match is all said and done, and if Mark Henry actually does lose, he's going to be involved a lot, either with the Big Show or with Mark Henry. And I'm looking forward to that because it will really be great for his career. The one thing I can say is that the career that actually tanked to one of these wrestlers is Jinder Mahal. Now, it makes me sad to see Jinder Mahal actually coming from being really pushed, really promoted, especially having great mic skills, to only having little time in the ring, to actually being like backstage and speaking Hindi again. You know, come on, dude. You gotta really do something else besides that whole Indian card. I mean, it has to be something different for you. But honestly, that rolls me into something else. It rolls me into Ezekiel Jackson. Now, Big Zeke, he's great in the ring, but he's not ready to be pushed. Okay, I bet a lot of people are like, what are you talking about? He has potential. He does. He has a lot of potential, but Big Zeke should not be pushed yet because he's terrible on the mic. He has no mic skills. He cannot speak. He has, I mean, he's from South America, but his accent is really getting in the way of his words. He's not sellable yet. He needs to work on his mic skills before they actually start pushing him. He's great in the ring. He is great as a face. Actually, in my opinion, he's great as a monster face. But honestly, he should not be pushed just yet. He really needs to work on his craft. That's what I think is a problem at this point with the WWE. They will only work on one aspect of their character, but not work on both sides or the character as a whole. There's multifaceted areas when it comes to characters in WWE, and they're only working in a few spots. They need to work not only a little bit of his ring skills to make him a little bit more original, but they need to work on his mic skills. They need to desperately, just like with Jinder Mahal, they need to work on his in-ring skills and leave his mic skills alone because he's a natural. I mean, he has natural charisma. But moving on from there, the Divas match, yes, it actually does make me happy to see this. This is something that they should have done a long time ago. Now, I'm going to explain this a little bit more in my preview. Well, not really my preview, but my predictions for Survivor Series. I'm going to explain a little bit more of that, but I'm going to move on from there. But honestly, I really did like that the Divas of Destruction actually did win this time. They should have been dominant from the beginning, but it's really great that they actually did win because that's more believable. Really, do you think that AJ is going to beat Beth Phoenix and Natalya? AJ and Caitlyn beat Beth Phoenix and Natalya. That's hilarious. But honestly, no. You know, I'm actually happy that they did win because it's more believable that way. But they're really doing their hardest to promote the whole John Cena versus The Rock thing. They really don't have to because everybody has been looking forward to WrestleMania for this entire year. They really don't need to promote it much anymore, especially with the Never Again, First Scene, Never Again, whatever. They really don't need to promote anything about The Rock. They need to promote the rest of their matches because The Rock and John Cena already sold itself. They need to be selling the other matches instead of ignoring that. But I'll talk about that more in my whole predictions video. But for the final match of the night, I'm probably missing one, but for the final match of the night was pretty much the captain the captain of the heel team versus the captain of the face team, Randy Orton and Wade Barrett, which Sheamus on Randy Orton's corner and Cody Rhodes in Wade Barrett's corner. Now, I am liking the new Cody Rhodes. I really am. I am loving the new Cody Rhodes because the whole face disfigure thing was starting to get played out and old. I am happy that he's no longer doing that, and he decided to move his character in another direction. Because in my opinion, this makes him more like an IC champion than it was when he was disfigured. It just didn't work. But now I actually have a lot of hope for Cody Rhodes as a new character. He has a lot of potential, and he's going to really show it. I love this match because the match actually did sell itself. It actually did sell how you would really feel when you're watching it when Survivor Series is on. It actually did sell Survivor Series. I actually did like this match. So honestly, Smackdown is always a better show than it is with Raw, especially with Kofi Kingston and the match that he had. Now, the one thing I can say about Kofi Kingston's match is that it never does disappoint. Any match with Kofi Kingston in it never disappoints to me. It was definitely a match that was just ongoing. I mean, it just his matches really never disappoint because Hunico decided to actually fused together his high-flying skills with the mixes of a brawler. So the fusion between a brawler style and high-flying style, I think, was an epic idea because it could definitely sell him a lot more than it was when he was trying to be the face in Cara. Because you would think that anybody, especially if you're a luchador, if you actually lose your mask, that's it. That's the end of your career. He has a lot more potential now, fusing his high flyer styles with his brawler style. So I'm looking forward to seeing Hunico's matches in the future, and I think that his career is definitely going to go up from there. Especially the fact, with Kofi Kingston and him beating Kofi Kingston. I think that that's definitely a push for him. So that was also a great match in itself. And one thing I can say is, before I forget, Ted DiBiase's match. Now, Ted DiBiase's match with that NXT guy, I completely forget his name. Derek Bateman, I think is what his name is. If I'm wrong, please leave a comment below on what his name is. Derek Bateman and Maxine. Now, we've already seen power couples in the past. We all know how it's going to end. But I really do like Derek Bateman. I think he actually does have a lot of potential to go forward and actually perform a lot better in his career. Now, the fact that Ted DiBiase beat him, I don't see that as being buried. I see that as him getting noticed. And the fact that he actually showed a match, whether or not he lost or he won, he was actually noticed, and he's going to actually probably be in a lot more matches than this. So I really am looking forward to see Derek Bateman in the future. Probably not so much Maxine, because I don't even know whether or not Maxine is going to be a diva or not. She's just there. I don't know whether or not she's going to be in the manager position or whatever, or not she's just there for right now. But I am looking forward to seeing Derek Bateman, excuse me. But all in all, SmackDown is always a better show than Raw. I'm definitely going to say that they did a good job selling Survivor Series, better than they did with Raw. So I'm definitely going to give it, I'm giving it a B- for the night, because there was one match in general that really did confuse me, and that happens to be the match with Sin Cara. Sin Cara versus Dolph Ziggler, because John Morrison was not involved in it at all. I don't even know if he was there. So that was the one thing that confused me. He should have been more involved in that match, so he can actually try to sell Survivor Series more than him not being in the match, and you send out somebody that has nothing to do with the feud at all. Or if it's a feud, or I don't know, whatever it is. But all in all, it's just a B- for the night. Stay tuned for my prediction show for Survivor Series. It is coming up next. Stay tuned. Peace out for now.